Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go.
From the crew that brought you behind the scenes, behind the song. Hey! And now, behind the video! Hello! This is Aurie, that's AU to the RIE. Welcome back. And this time we are bringing you behind the video. And by me, I mean me and my team. We are one. I am them, they are me. Cosmic Revolution, the song, is about freedom. Freedom to express yourself. It's about Black identity. It's about political freedom. It's about having the strength to have our rights protected and acknowledged and practiced. So Cosmic Revolution is your pump me up song. You know, when you're getting ready, when you want to feel empowered, or you just want to give yourself a feeling of, I can do it. I can make it. I am it. Cosmic Revolution is the song for you. This song was first created, I think, in 2019. And then in 2020, we reworked it with a very phenomenal producer. He's called Karim, also known as Heka. He's a DJ as well. And I had the instrumental for some time, but hadn't gotten to writing to it. But in this process, I was thinking about my life. At the time, I was working a full-time job also and balancing it with recording music and creating art. And I found myself in this phase of questioning my life choices, my presence in this world, how I affect the environment around me, how political, social systems also influence my life. And I had so many questions. And the thing with the internet is you'll ask the questions and there's everything and nothing at the same time, which is a good and bad thing. So the song and the art helped me to really understand myself more and my interaction with the world and the world itself. I'm sure you've noticed. We have not called this an official music video. It is a mini film. I love movies and films a lot. I'm very inspired by storylines, and I'm the kind of person who, when I'm watching a film, I am deep in it. I am emotionally, psychologically, and physically invested. And what I envisioned for videos going forward is that I wanted the aspect of film, of a storyline to it, to come into the music videos. With that, I felt it was more honorable to call it a mini film as opposed to a music video because of the direction we took when shooting it, and even the kind of storyline that we had. The sample of when it begins, there's an incident of actual police violence that happened. Rest in peace to Boniface Karaoke. And it was a powerful way to bring the message into the song. And after all that and seeing it all come together, it affirmed why I called it a mini film. Yeah, so bringing the aspect of film into music visuals, that is my intention, to always fuse the two. It started with a lot of research. There's a channel on YouTube. They really talk about movies and how they're filmed. They sample different directors' work and give us insight into how they shoot. And actually from that point, even when I continued watching films now, I started seeing things differently. Like there's a reason why this shot is a close-up. There's a reason why we have a wide shot and you can see the whole space. And I was also inspired from starring in a musical. I starred in a musical that's on Showmax. It's called Cheza. And so I was able to get practical experience of what it takes to shoot different angles. What is an OTS? Do you know what OTS? Over the shoulder. Yeah. So it started with a lot of research, and I spoke to my manager, Abby, and I said, Abby, I want to bring film into music videos. And she said, bet, we better do that. So over time, I just spent my time really fast understanding in depth what it takes to have a film put together. And then I came across a very awesome YouTuber, Kijivu Africa Films, and they shared a clip on a public forum that we are in together. I watched the short film and was absolutely inspired by what he had done and the kind of values that he has, because he wants to tell impactful, meaningful, and honest stories through film. So I reached out. He's called Grayson. I reached out to Grayson. I shared the song with him and crossed my fingers. I didn't know how this was going to turn out. I didn't expect him to call me back so soon, which he did, and he was like, girl, I'm done with the song. I love this song. It's so empowering. And he was already, there's what I had envisioned, and he had already seen like so much, even more than I could have imagined. And this is where his film directing expertise came in. So we got to talking, and he had very many ideas, but ideally what he did was give me the space to have my own concept and to work from that. So this also now put me in a different position. I was learning again and researching on how now to storyboard. I had so many days of where I didn't know what I was doing. But eventually I decided to approach it from a space of silence and listening. I decided to go with it, to let the song take me, not me take the song. So I would sit with the song and see all the images that were being conjured up in my mind, and I would note them down, and we would discuss with my manager until finally now we had our storyboard complete with scene breakdowns. This is how scene 1 is going to be, scene 2, 3, 4, 5, down to noting down props, location scouting, and these are other things I was learning on the way. So fun, so frustrating, but so beautiful. It's bittersweet chaos, right? The sweet chaos of putting a project together. That's what Abby says. And I'm like, yeah, it's sweet chaos. It's good, and like, oh, how are we going to do this? Writing it down allowed me to dream big, not to limit myself. Granted, we weren't able to do everything, but we were able to do some very, very powerful stuff together. Of course, Pinterest came through to help with the vision board, the collage. So I collected pictures, makeup looks that spoke to me, that gave Cosmic Revolution. This is how I want to communicate this message. And then finally, we had a group call. That's me, Abby, and Grayson, and we got to planning. This phase was also very interesting because now we are working with a document I created, put everything down, how the story will be. And now finally, Grayson was able to give feedback what's possible, what wasn't possible, and a very wonderful idea then came up. He suggested, why don't we put the clip of the late Boniface Karaoke, who was shot in broad daylight, selling masks, very innocent. And I thought that was so impactful. And that's when the mini film begins. And we are pulled into this world of the message, because this is the kind of freedom that we want. We want a revolution from oppressive systems. We want a revolution of how we think, of our culture. We need a revolution of ideologies and not a revolution of tribalism and hate and gatekeeping and corruption and just everything that's murky and messy. The first time I was seeing it, the first cut, I was nervous, I won't lie. I was almost on edge, because after you've done something and all I could think about was, how is it going? How is the editing? How will it look like? You know, how? What will it be? Oh my God! So finally, one beautiful night, I received the video, and the first thing that came to mind was just, wow! I know that's such a simple word, but wow! It was stunning. I felt affirmed and very confident because the vision has come together. I felt so good because I feel amazing when I'm creating. When I'm creating, trying out something, that's when I'm at my fullest. I'm alive, I'm enthusiastic, and I want to just keep going. So the first time I was seeing the clip, I just thought, wow. And exactly, this is exactly what I had been imagining and dreaming about, and seeing that film aspect come out in the visual. I said, this is a mini film. This is not a music video. So it was an enriching feeling. Very nice, very satisfying, and it gave me confidence in what's to come and what we are going to create and how we are going to keep making many more mini films, possibly a films, and that's on God. The whole mini film has been shot on a phone. Can you tell? No, you cannot. Neither can I. It surprises me. It's gobsmacking, flabbergasting that this device that you have every other day can do something this powerful for you. There's the vision that I had and all that I wanted to do, and then now coming back to looking at what do I have? What are the resources that I have? So we decided to shoot in the CBD. There are quite a number of spots that are very scenic. Just recently, there's been a lot of murals being done in town to bring vibrancy and life into our city. So we're able to save costs on paying for a location. The phone was readily available, so we also saved on renting a camera. Yeah, and editing was also done via the phone. Really, that was such a lesson in looking at what you have. What can I start with? Start where you are with what you have, and you'll be surprised the number of powerful and impactful things that you can do. So here's a pro tip, artists. All right, just because the budget is minimum does not mean you cannot have something impactful and very nice. Initially, this was just supposed to be a visualizer, and we had planned around a visualizer. We had it all down. We're like, yep, this is it. So finally, It changed again after speaking to Grayson and exchanging ideas. Literally on the first call, he was like, this video can even have your friends. Yeah, they can be singing some parts of the song. I was like, I like this idea. That's possible. I was a little skeptical about asking or fearful, but then I was just like, I'd rather someone tell me no than be skeptical and fill in details for myself and then not know how they really felt. So I hit up my girlies who are also performers in their own right. We have starred in musicals and plays together. They have starred in their own plays and musicals. They are moving mountains, shaking people in their boots. So I called up Afropatra, an amazing Afro jazz singer, and I called up Akinyi, who is a therapist, professional, licensed, and an actress, a wonderful performer, and they were down. The yes was so loud, and I was so proud and happy, and they were very involved from the beginning, curious about what they'd wear, how they'd act, and what they needed to bring to life to make it successful. So I shared the mood board with them, the outfits they needed to bring, and the possible parts of the song that they would be singing, which is mostly the chorus. Hatutapiga kelele, yeah. So that's how I was able to get my friends who are actors. So let me say, that's how I was able to get and cast the actors. Woo woo! So I'm sure in the mini film, unaona vile maluku ni deadly. The makeup is looking right. And everyone did their own makeup, all the actors, I did my own. And our fashion board, our vision for the looks was to allude to the Kenyan flag, which has 4 colors: black, white, red, and green. So you'll see the white in our outfits. We have the red in one of the backdrops for the scenes. We have our black, which is us, because we black, purely melanin therapy. And then we have the green. The green is actually worn by one of the actors, Afropatra, with the turban. Yes, the very powerful shot where the turban has covered her face and she has the hands up. So that's what inspired the fashion, alluding to the Kenyan flag. All our clothes were sourced from our own closets. Oh, but to having a stylist in the future, amen. But this ties back into starting with what you have, working with what you have, actually looking first at what is there, what can I work with. And in looking at my closet and the looks I wanted to put together, I was like, oh, okay, I have this. I can combine these 2 looks in a certain way to bring out this message. What I've learned in all this process is to trust myself, to trust my ideas. It has taught me that my peers are millionaires and billionaires, and those are the hands I want to be holding and moving forward with, because they are amazing, they are so talented, they are inspiring in everything that they're doing in their fields. They're really working hard, pushing and creating a better future. And I learned that my peers is where it's at. I've also learned that I am awesome and I am surrounded by very, very awesome people. I also came to that realization of working with what you have and where you are. Start from where you are. Yes, you definitely have exactly what you need at that time. When you keep that in mind, I started to see more of the possibilities and what I did have. And the more I thought of what I had, the more abundant I felt. And the more abundant I felt, the more I wanted to create, to collaborate, to share, to be myself. I'd like to say a special humongous from the heart of my bottom to number one, Grayson. Thank you so much for seeing the vision, understanding, and helping to bring it to life. I'd like to thank Udnolak, my amazing manager, support system, best friend, all out. There's not enough words that can describe Udnolak. Yeah. She's fantastic. She's somewhere in the video. Look for her. You're gonna see her. And then I'd love to say a special thank you to my wonderful friends, Afropatra and Akinyi, for agreeing to be in the video number one, for being so enthusiastic. They really brought it. They were so excited. From the first shot we did for each of them, the song dropped and they were ready. They were like, have you been listening to the song and we are gonna do this shit. So I'm so grateful to have such supportive friends who encourage me every moment that they can. I would also like to thank Joanna and Shiko. In absentia, they couldn't make it for the video, but they were supposed to be there, bro. It was a whole vibe, stunning. But I'd like to thank them. They're still so supportive and they encourage me and they're here for me. So thank you so much, ladies. It was a small team, but the impact was massive. Have you checked out Cosmic Revolution, a mini film? What? Well, what are you waiting for? Is that a wrap?
Like boy!
Yes!